Hello, it's Alex. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me for Friday Sews. Friday Sews is a bit of a catch up about of the week that's just gone by and any sewing that might or might not have happened. This week not a lot of sewing has happened, but I've had a few bits and pieces arrive and I've got some plans. But I did remember when I was putting something on this morning that I haven't shown you this shirt yet. And I don't really have an awful lot to say about it because it is yet another Deer and Doe Melilot shirt, of which I have made millions, probably only a slight exaggeration. I bought this fabric from System in Tacker probably 2 years ago, maybe even more. And it's been on that, when you have a fabric that you're dying to use, but it feels quite special. So you end up saving it and never using it. I really love the print on this fabric. I really have got a very soft spot for anything mid-century. So this kind of mid-century modern architectural, I'm not sure if you can see it really, architectural print, yeah, it's completely up my street. But I made this, and the only differences or the only changes I made is that I squared off the collar because the Melilot has, I think it has a sort of grandad collar and a round. So I just squared off the collar and I gave myself a wider sleeve. So I did the same thing that I did, or similar thing, to the adjustment I made to my mum's top last week. I took some pictures though. So a couple of parallel lines to the grain line and then spread out by 5 centimetres, keeping the sleeve head intact. And I did that, I just put some elastic at the end again, same thing really. I did it because I am forever rolling my sleeves up and down, and I quite like that. And I made them this length, which is more like a bracelet length, so really is actually the length of the sleeve minus the cuff, because I just prefer it, to be honest. It's just a sleeve length I like, keeps out of the way of my Fitbit and any other bits and pieces. So anyway, I thought that I would mention that I've not shown you this. I made it in August in the summer, but being a pretty sort of neutral print and a pretty neutral colour, I knew that it would go with pretty much anything that I'm making for autumn. So it sticks in my plan of kind of creating a cohesive wardrobe. But the main thing that I'm focusing on next is going to be my coat. And I mentioned it in last week's video. I showed you that traveller coat from Bella Love Patterns is my plan. But I didn't have any fabric, and I said that pretty much I just want the same coat in that picture. Similar colour, sort of chestnutty brown-ish kind of a colour. And quite a few of you came up with some suggestions, which was brilliant, and I really do thank you for that. So thank you so much, everybody. Maggie said she had seen something in Minerva, and Maggie, who commented, is a lady that I've met. Maggie and I met along with Josie, who also has a channel here on YouTube, which is called, I think it's called It Is Josie. We met at the first ever sewing meetup I ever went to, and yeah, that was really nice. So thank you very much, Maggie. She said she'd spotted something on Minerva's website, and as luck would have it, I saw that come on Saturday, and on Saturday they were having 20% off. So I dashed over to Minerva's website, found some fabric that I liked, and it arrived about half an hour ago. So I can show it to you just quickly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was fortuitous that there was a 20% off, because as I said, it needs, I think it was 3.5 meters. I ordered 4 just to be on the safe side. So when you're buying a high wool content fabric, obviously it's quite expensive. And I got lining. I think by coincidence, they are both Lady McElroy. I mean, lining is lining, isn't it, really? It's probably, knowing me, a viscose lining. I think it's viscose. I usually get viscose or Q-Pro if I can. I'm not a fan of the acetate just because it's too noisy and sweaty. So just lining and my threads. But my fabric is possibly slightly more brown than picture, I don't know. It's from memory, I think it's 80% wool, not 100%. I'm not necessarily against a wool blend. I think sometimes a blend is quite good. You know, the qualities of one fabric will, you know, offset any negatives of the other fabric. But nice 80% wool, so it should be nice and warm. And it, as I say, it's literally arrived today and I'm ready to go. It's got a slight texture to it, but not much. I have to say, and it has got a nap, so I'm going to have to be careful of that. One of the things I have to say that is great about Minerva's website, and yes, I do sometimes, you know, do a blog on Minerva website in exchange for free fabric. This was not one of those. But the fact that they do have so many people doing blogs and posting pictures on their website is really, really handy, because you can't always tell from a tiny little picture, can you? But for this particular fabric, somebody had made a shacket, and that was great because I could really see what the colour looked like. And I did actually have it with a split screen. I had the fabric on one side and the pattern picture on the other, and I was like, yeah, that will do. So now that this has arrived, all 4 meters of it, I am going to start to work on that coat. I also sent the pattern off to be printed, and the great thing, I know I keep raving about Fabuloso, but the other great thing about them is that they do the oversized printing. So if you've got something like a coat that just is huge, this got printed on oversized paper rather than just AO, because sometimes with the AO you still have to stick it together. So I'm all ready to go. This is going to take quite some steaming. I might do a little test and do my usual trick of, I'm not sure yet. Sometimes with wool fabric what I do is I bung it in the tumble dryer with a wet tea towel or a damp tea towel. I don't know, this has actually cost quite a lot of money, so I don't know whether I want to risk it. So I might do that, and if not, I will just steam it, you know, like mad with my iron. But 4 meters of it is going to take quite a long time. So that's something that's ongoing. I will make a toile because I've not made the pattern before. I've not used anything by this pattern company before. And yeah, as I say, quite a lot of money to spend on fabric. So I will make a toile, and I'm going to go and see if I have anything in my stash that I could make that toile out of, other than muslin, or I've got quite a lot of polycotton. But I'd like to find something that's more coat weight or more similar in weight to that fabric. If I've got something, and I think I might have, because I've had a bit of a clear out and made a pile of fabrics to use for toiles, just because it is a bit difficult when you do a toile for a coat and you're using a lighter weight fabric like a muslin or a polycotton. I've got polycotton left over from making scrubs, because it's not the same weight and it's not going to hang the same, and yeah, you need to allow for that, which is quite hard. So that's what I'm going to be up to for the next, I don't know how long this is going to take, but coats don't happen overnight. What I might do is I might have the odd palette cleanser in between. If I'm feeling the need to do something quick and dirty, then I will. A t-shirt or something. But other than that, the other thing I wanted to say, following up from my video last week, or not last week, actually my video earlier this week about the questions, 5 questions in one take, is quite a lot of you asked about the jacket I made for Dave and whether I'd got him to try it on. And when I saw it on the hanger, I thought it's quite big, and we have both been a little bit more health conscious over the last few years, and I wondered whether it would be too big for him, and sure enough, when he put it on, it's drowning him, which I have to say he was chuffed to bits about. But yeah, it's way too big for him. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to donate it. I'll take it to one of the charity shops, or there are a few collections locally for Afghan refugees. So I think that's what I do, because it seems crazy to hang on to it when it's not really being worn, and I'm sure someone else can make better use of it. I've also had another fabric delivery this week from a fabric company I haven't ordered from before. I followed them on Instagram. If you're a fabric company, I will always follow you on Instagram because I'm always worried I'm missing out on something super exciting. Anyway, this is a company called Bornella Fabrics. And I ordered this jersey. It's a viscose jersey, and I guess it's a bit of a mid-century print. Again, it's my mid-century theme this week. I love this kind of 50s mid-century vibe, and I couldn't resist this. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to make from it. None whatsoever. But I did just want to say that one of the things that this company, yes, Bornella Fabrics, I'll link it in the description box below. Don't know them from Adam really, but they do have some really nice prints in there. There's quite a few I was very tempted by. There's a 1970s, well, I think it's 1970s floral print on a mint green background. If this was the summer, I would have bought that straight away. Really nice. But one of the things that I really like about the way that they're listing their fabrics is that the last frame on all their fabric listings, they have, I think they've got their logo with the fabric over it. It gives you an idea of how opaque the fabric is or isn't. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'll put an image in so you can see what I mean with this particular one. But I think that's fantastic because sometimes when buying fabric online is a pain, isn't it? Sometimes when it arrives, it's a lot thinner than you anticipate or a lot thicker. I feel, especially with something like this that's a pale colour, really, really helpful. I haven't seen any of the other fabric companies do that. So yeah, just wanted to give them a shout out really for that alone. I had 2 deliveries today, and the other one is a bit of a treat to myself really. And it's from Beyond Measure, and it's a new pincushion. And Grace from Beyond Measure, she's really worth following again on Instagram. She has lots of lovely, I don't know how you describe it, bits and pieces for people that are crafty. So if you wanted to get a lovely new tape measure or some fantastic pins, I'd go and check her website out. She has lots of nice bits and pieces. Anyway, she has these pincushions made in conjunction with a local artist. She's based in Yorkshire. I keep meaning to pop in actually, because I'm sure she's not too far out of my way when I go to Leeds to see my daughter. But yes, they're sort of special, limited edition or special edition, and they're often different faces. I think there is a Frida Kahlo and all sorts of people. But I could not resist this one, which is called Emmeline, and it's got to be based on Emmeline Pankhurst because there she is in her suffragette colours. I'll take a close up, a little badge that says vote, and there's a big link between the suffragettes and Manchester, and we have a lot to be thankful for to those suffragettes giving us the vote. So yeah, I absolutely could not resist this. To be honest, I could have bought all of them, but I really like it, and I love the way that their hair is where you put your pins in there, and I think that bit is done by Grace at Beyond Measure, and then the ceramics are done, as I say, each one's individual by a local artist. So I could not resist. That's a complete present for myself. I think they sell out quite quick. That was my excuse anyway. So again, I will put that in the description box below. I haven't got any affiliation with any of these companies. They're just me going a bit naughty. And the other delivery I've had fairly recently is, I bet lots of people have got these, one of the Kylie and the Machine advent calendars. You know, I'm not going to do any spoilers, don't worry. Advent calendar with labels. I think there's 60 odd labels by the time you've opened them all up. I got mine from Fabric Godmother. I did it as a pre-order, so there was a bit of a discount if you pre-ordered. But I know that some of the suppliers still have them. You've still got plenty of time between now and December. I quite like buying my labels when I get my patterns printed because they hold them at Fabuloso, and I know they've got some over there. What a brilliant idea this is. Absolutely fantastic idea. I think it was around about £50. But I have been known to treat myself in recent years to some of those advent calendars with skincare. And yeah, I mean, I do really like those. I mean, it'd be really, yeah, it would be lovely to have both, but you can't spoil yourself too much, can you? But this is fantastic to have 66 labels by the end of December, and I will thoroughly enjoy waking up each morning and opening and seeing what there is. I think there was something about those, none of the, because she does do sweary ones. I will admit I have some of those. I think there's no sweary ones, there's no X-rated, well, not X-rated, but nothing dodgy in there. So you could, I guess, get one for your granny. No, that's not true. Grannies swear too. Anyway, they do in my family. Anyway, you know what I mean. So yeah, just thought I would mention how brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'd much rather have one of those than a skincare one or even a chocolate one, although my mum will send me a chocolate one because she sends me one every year, even at 53. So those are the bits and pieces I've bought this week, and yes, my focus is definitely going to be on toiling that coat. The other thing I thought I would mention before I head off is Project Runway. It's back and I absolutely love Project Runway. It isn't the same without Tim Gunn. And I do, now that there's Making the Cut, which is on, in the UK, it's on Amazon Prime. Obviously, I don't know about elsewhere. Project Runway is now Christian Siriano hosting. He's a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy, but he doesn't have the charm of Tim Gunn. But it's still good TV, and it's fashion TV and sewing TV, isn't it? Always leaves you wanting a bit more, I find. I always kind of want to see more about the process, but then I guess that doesn't make good TV for everybody else. This year, Katie Cortman Art is one of the contestants, and she's very much part of the sewing community. She, I think, released a range of fabrics a little while ago. Her kind of whole aesthetic is very bright and vibrant. So yeah, really nice to have it back. I am watching it on a channel which is called Hey You, which I get through Amazon Prime. You have to pay, I think it's like £4 a month or something to access it. It tends to have all the reality TV nonsense, you know, Real Housewives of everywhere. That's my guilty pleasure, I have to be honest. I know I should know better, but I do. I watch them all. Anyway, my excuse is I have to have something on in the background while I'm sewing. But yeah, so if you've got one of those subscriptions, go and watch it. It's really nice. They are releasing it week by week, so you can't binge it. You have to wait for next week. But yeah, good. It's nice to watch some sewing and fashion TV. I wish it was on all the time, really. But yeah, that's pretty much me this week. I'm mostly focusing on getting going on this coat. I will be back pretty soon. Lots of you said you were interested in doing a video with a roundup of clothes to make as presents for people that you don't have access to, you know, you can't fit. So I'm going to do that. That will be my next video, probably next week if I get my act together. But in the meantime, look after yourselves and thank you very much. And if you'd like to subscribe, that would be fabulous. Okay, bye-bye.